Picture this. It's 7 in the evening on January 1st. You promised yourself this would be the year everything changes. The year you finally build that business, get in shape, and transform your life. So there you are, sitting at your desk, laptop open, ready to work on your future. 3 hours later, after 48 random YouTube videos, you're still in the exact same spot. Zero progress made. Sound familiar? Here's the brutal truth most people don't want to hear. Your brain is broken. And if your brain is broken, your dreams are dead on arrival. You can't build anything meaningful when your mind is scattered, unfocused, and constantly seeking the next dopamine hit. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to fix this problem and rewire your brain for the clarity and control you need to actually achieve your goals. The first issue destroying your potential is that you've become addicted to distraction. We live in an age where focus has become a superpower because so few people possess it anymore. Real focus isn't just paying attention. It's the ability to dedicate 100% of your mental energy to a single task for extended periods. Hours, days, weeks if necessary. But most of us have completely lost this ability. We can't do anything anymore without multiple streams of input flooding our consciousness. I guarantee you've already thought about checking your phone during this video. Maybe you've glanced at the comments or opened another tab. Each time you do this, you're training your brain to need constant stimulation. You're literally rewiring your neural pathways to function only in a state of distraction. Think about what this means for your goals. How can you possibly build a successful business when you can't focus on one task for more than 5 minutes? How can you master any skill when your attention is constantly fragmenting? The answer is simple. You can't. The solution starts with a radical intervention. Turn off your phone right now. Not on silent. Off. Leave it in another room for 24 hours. I know this sounds extreme, but here's what will happen. You'll discover you're not addicted to your phone. You're addicted to the constant stream of distractions it provides. And this addiction is killing your potential. To break free from this cycle, you need to implement what I call the clarity protocol. For the next 30 days, you're going to track every single thing you do in 30-minute segments from the moment you wake up until you go to sleep. Write it all down. By the end of 30 days, you'll have crystal clear data showing exactly where your time and attention go. Most people will be shocked by what they discover. Hours lost to mindless scrolling. Entire afternoons consumed by meaningless activities. Once you see this pattern clearly, the solution becomes obvious. Eliminate the pointless activities. Cut out everything that doesn't move you toward your goals. It sounds simple because it is simple. But simple doesn't mean easy. The second problem keeping you stuck is confusion. Most people don't know what they want from life, which means they don't know what to do with their time. When you don't know what you want, you can't develop a plan to get it. And when you can't create a plan but know you should be doing something productive, you end up paralyzed by confusion. This is what I call the anti-zone. It's where most people spend their entire lives. They either never work on anything meaningful because they don't know where to start, or they work on the wrong things for years and end up with nothing but regret. The anti-zone is that frustrating space where you want to do something important, but don't know what or how to begin. The cure for this confusion is entering what psychologists call the flow state, or what I prefer to call the zone. This is that magical mental state where you become completely absorbed in an activity. Time disappears, distractions fade away, you're locked in and performing at your peak. Athletes talk about being in the zone during their best performances. Entrepreneurs describe it as the state where breakthrough ideas emerge. A landmark study from 1990 found that people report being happiest when they're in flow states. This isn't surprising. When you're fully engaged in meaningful work that challenges you appropriately, life feels purposeful and energizing. The key is learning how to enter this state consistently and direct it toward your most important goals. Getting into the zone requires 3 elements. First, you need absolute clarity about what you want to achieve. not vague wishes or general aspirations. Specific, concrete outcomes you can work towards systematically. Second, you need to break that big goal down into daily actions you can take consistently. Third, you need to eliminate distractions so you can focus completely on executing those actions. Here's how to make this practical. Sit in a quiet room with no distractions. Ask yourself one question. Where do I actually want to be in 5 years? Don't overthink it. Don't worry about whether it's realistic or achievable. Just be honest about what you truly want. Once you have that vision clear, work backward to identify the specific steps needed to get there. Maybe you want to build a 6-figure online business. What skills would you need to develop? What products or services would you need to create? What marketing strategies would you need to master? Break it all down into actionable steps you can work on every single day. The beautiful thing about this approach is that once you start taking consistent action toward a clear goal, you naturally enter the zone. Your brain loves having a specific target to focus on. Confusion disappears when you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing each day. The third factor sabotaging your mental clarity is your physical inputs. Your brain is part of your body, and your body operates like a system with inputs and outputs. The quality of what you put in directly affects the quality of what you get out. You already know this intuitively. Sleep for 2 hours, and you'll perform terribly the next day. But somehow we ignore this principle when it comes to food. Have you ever tried to read something challenging after eating a heavy, processed meal? Your brain feels foggy. Your concentration suffers. Your memory becomes unreliable. This isn't a coincidence. The fuel you give your body becomes the fuel your brain uses to think, focus, and create. If you're serious about developing mental clarity and control, you cannot ignore your diet. High-sugar, highly processed foods create energy crashes that destroy your ability to focus. They trigger inflammation that impairs cognitive function. They disrupt neurotransmitter production that affects your mood and motivation. On the other hand, nutrient-dense whole foods provide steady energy that supports sustained mental performance. Healthy fats fuel your brain. Quality proteins provide the building blocks for neurotransmitters. Complex carbohydrates deliver glucose without the crashes. Think of your diet as the foundation for everything else. You can have the clearest goals and the best intentions, but if your brain is running on junk fuel, you won't have the mental energy to execute your plans. It's like trying to run a race in a broken-down car. No matter how hard you try, you're not going to reach the finish line. The solution doesn't have to be complicated. Focus on eating real food, minimize processed junk, stay hydrated, get adequate protein, include healthy fats. Time your meals to avoid energy crashes during your most important work. Small changes in your diet can produce dramatic improvements in your mental clarity and focus. Here's what I want you to understand. Rewiring your brain for clarity and control isn't about using willpower to force yourself to focus. It's about systematically removing the obstacles that prevent natural focus and creating conditions where deep work becomes effortless. When you eliminate distractions, define clear goals, and fuel your brain properly, something amazing happens. The constant mental chatter quiets down. The urge to check your phone fades away. You start experiencing those flow states more frequently. Work becomes engaging instead of draining. This transformation doesn't happen overnight, but it happens faster than you might expect. Within a week of implementing these changes, you'll notice improved concentration. Within a month, you'll be amazed at how much you can accomplish when your brain is functioning optimally. Your brain has incredible plasticity. It can rewire itself at any age, but this rewiring requires consistent practice and the right conditions. Stop feeding it distractions. Give it clear direction. Provide quality fuel. Do this consistently, and you'll develop the mental clarity and control necessary to achieve whatever you set your mind to. The choice is yours. You can continue living in the anti-zone, distracted and confused, making little progress toward your dreams. Or you can take control of your mental environment and unlock the focused, clear-thinking version of yourself that's been waiting to emerge. The tools are simple. The results are profound. All that's left is to begin.